Can I move this window around, please? It's like... Come on. Where's my... There you go. Well, a drow is like reincarnated dead, isn't it? So Draugen, I don't know. Probably something like that. It's related to the dead refuse to die or something like that. I don't want to say zombie, but it's drow something to do with death. Am I close, Valdir? Well, let's find out. New game. Oh my god, stop moving the window, will you? Please? Please? Oh, seriously, are you not going to let me move the window? It keeps jumping around the screen. Thank you. The Draugen is a swamp lake monster who lures people into the water and drowns them with its hair, you think. Okay, well, I know you initially start off, you're in a rowing boat. So you play as the guy you saw in that image, and then the girl is like your niece or something? Here we go. So we're...
Water's cold.
It's a fjord. You're not going swimming.
Boo. You're such a wet blanket, teddy bear.
You know I don't like it when you call me...
Edward Charles
I broke
Harden.
condition.
Will you promise to behave?
Audio-wise, does it need a boost?
Lissy, promise.
Oh, piffle and phonus balonus, Teddy. You ought to know better than to ask. Yes, I'll behave. I'll be a proper young lady. I shan't run or climb things or laugh too loud or call anyone old bean.
Game is a little quiet.
Aside from you.
Right. Well, I will try nudging it up because I think it's max settings on here. Yeah, I've nudged down the music and the sound effects, but dialogue kept right up there, so I will give it a small nudge. We'll go to something like that.
So, do you think we'll find your Betty in...
You'd love a small boost, would you, Valdir?
What did you call this village? Gravewick?
Everyone knows in his heart that his sister is here, though it's been months since he last heard from Elizabeth.
I don't much care for it.
Wonders yet again what drew Elizabeth to this remote place, so very far from New York.
Betty found herself a burly Viking warrior and went native. Put horns on her hat, drinks mead out of a chalice, eats goat meat off the bone, that sort of thing.
She's there.
How can you know for sure?
She's my sister.
But how can you know?
I just do. In her letter, she wrote about...
But that's months ago. She could have gone anywhere.
Without writing or telegraphing her editor in New York, she wouldn't do that. Betty's...
Slightly better. Needs more then?
Alice, you're talking about my sister.
Fine. I'm sorry. Elizabeth's a darb. We all love her dearly. And Teddy Bear? Edward? We will find her. Betty's fine. Why, we'll see her as soon as we get to shore. She'll shower you with kisses.
Audio needs a big
and
boost.
berate you for coming all this way from Hanover, Massachusetts to the middle of absolutely nowhere Scandinavia way just to chase
Norway.
her down. And everything will be Jake, old fruit.
Right. Let's nudge that up a fair chunk then. Okay.
Is that it? Is that Groovewoke?
That better?
It looks so peaceful and beautiful and so desolate.
Like I said, this is, from what I've seen, it looks very pretty. This is again why it reminded me of
I don't think I could do
Vanishing of Ethan Carter, because that was a good-looking game.
Can't you row any faster? I'm getting frightfully bored.
How about you take over, Alice?
You slay me, Teddy, old bean. Was that thunder?
Still distant.
Perfect. I'll go with that then.
So you say. But I say put your back into it, because we're sitting ducks out here. Quack, quack.
It's not pretty without ray tracing.
So quiet.
Lift with the legs, not the back.
Where is everyone?
Probably working. I know it's a foreign concept to you, but that's something normal people do.
Hardy har har.
The Fretland farm is up the hill somewhere.
Up where?
Right. First question, pressing shift, do we run? No, we're walking the entire
Where's the
distance.
farm?
Oh, point.
I believe it's that farmhouse, all the way at the top.
Hot dog. Let's ankle.
Hold on.
I want
Let
to
me
see
read
what
the
this...
letter from Mrs. Fretland first.
I'll meet
and
you up there, old sport. I want to explore. Last one's a skunk's tail.
Be
Fine.
careful. The ground's muddy. You could slip and fall.
See you in 2 shakes.
Okay, that's a little dark there. Okay.
Dear Mr. Harden, we would like to extend an invitation to visit our home. Trouble to hear of your sister's disappearance. No news to share. You'll find our farm on top of the hill.
I can't say I recognise the voice offhand.
Look
Probably
forward
if
to
I
seeing
see
you
the
again,
name, I
October.
would recognise it.
Yours faithfully, Anna Fretland. Well, I'm here. Where are you? Did you make it to Grovik, Betty? And why did you pick this forlorn hole under the mountains? Also sprach Zarathustra.
So what was with the purple glow there inside the barn?
On my way.
Okay.
Righto. Step to it, teddy bear.
I have to locate Lissy.
Lissy!
I'm up at the farm.
Okay. The kind of the shimmering thing also again reminds me a lot of Immersion Broken, just because there's English on the side there. Maybe it's a foreign company. Right. Just to placate you, noob, I can show you quickly what the visuals are. Quality presets. I've done customize. I've nudged everything. I did max and then nudged a few things down. So foliage, materials, visuals, shadows, yada yada yada. 1923 mode. So that's not the kind of the weird, the kind of film scratches, because this is apparently off, unless that turns it black and white. Maybe that's probably it. I heard something about it. It's a Funcom game. They're Norwegian. You want the motion blur off, do you? I mean, I'll split the difference. We'll do 50%. Because I've got a feeling, in the harsh light of day, with that little bit of softness around the edges, this might not look as pretty. But I'll placate you a little. There we go. So it's Funcom, Nicholas Bolton. No, I don't recognise the name. There you go. You're happy now. Proper Norwegian. Sky Bennett. Sky Bennett rings a bell.
Are you coming?
Just taking a break.
Hurry up. Storm's getting closer.
So yeah, the devs behind it are Red Thread. I don't know who the publisher is. If you're saying it's Funcom that are publishing, Valdir, that's another rest spot, is it? Yeah. So that's probably sit there and admire the view type rest. Yeah, I'm pressing shift to try and run, but I'm guessing if we ran this, what is like a 2 to 3 hour game would probably turn into about 30 minutes. Because we would be able to skip a bunch of stuff. Another rest, yeah. I give them kudos for adding all the options there. Choices are really meh. Low, medium, high, ultra is the options. Yeah, but I want to look at the other houses. Though we'll probably come back down to these, won't we? I know, I'm on the path. You're just on a different path. Okay, I'm thinking I might need to boost the camera a bit. In shadow, it's very dark, isn't it? I know you get cynical, noob. You're off down the shops, are you, Sienna? No worries. It is Red Thread that's the devs. Does it say who the publisher is then, Valdir? I'm trying to think who sent me the code. I think it was the devs that sent it. I don't think it was an intermediary. I don't think it was a publisher or a PR company specifically. It's a big old... I thought Norway was supposed to be flat. Red Thread are publishing as well, are they? Okay. Also, was I supposed to do anything with the gate? Just rest. Okay.
Lissy.
Hello.
Oh, you're actually on the porch.
What took you so long?
I'm not 17.
Nor are you 70. Put some spring into your step, old sport.
Can I open the door now,
Did you see
please?
the flag? It's at half-mast. Someone died.
So
I
this
never-
is it, huh? Nice digs. But seriously, where is everyone?
Well, if you let me go inside... Okay, mountains that find silence. Odd, these hard-working
This is starting
people
to creep
with
me
busy
out.
lives. There's no sign of people out on the fjord, but he was focused on
Must
keeping
be
the oars.
somewhere.
Let's go
Perhaps
inside.
Everyone's indoors. The rain's picking up.
You first,
Flat?
old bean.
Norway's mostly having... Impertinent much?
Hello? Anyone there?
I thought you're like
Mr. Fretland?
6 foot below
Mrs.
sea
Fretland?
level for the most part. You
This is
Valdir?
Edward Charles Harden, the American. We've exchanged letters.
Maybe they went on holiday and left the door open. Give it a shake and a rattle.
I can't just barge into their home.
It's not a crime if you're invited.
I'm coming in. This is Mr. Harden.
I'm thinking
Hello?
Denmark. I mean all these
Is anyone
Scandinavian
This house is
countries
empty
all
since
blend
Christmas
into one, don't they?
December. Hey, you want to check out the upstairs?
Feels uneasy about intruding on a host's privacy.
Certainly not. I'm going to sit down and wait for the Fretlands.
Maybe there are extra comfortable chairs upstairs.
This is the kitchen.
It is a bit dark, isn't
Anyone
it?
there?
Do I need to boost the
I
gain
don't
a
want to go
bit?
upstairs anyway. It's creepy.
There must be a sitting room on this floor.
Oh, this is nice. Charmingly rustic. The Boston Beaumont would pay a pretty penny for this setup. I thought foreigners lived differently. This is almost like an American home.
People are people wherever you go.
Thanks, Bruce.
These mountains are haunted.
Look! Family pictures.
Yeah, I know. I was already
Must be
looking
the-
at them.
What did you call them?
Wait,
What's on the tip of my
Fretlands.
tongue?
our hosts.
The Fretlands.
Right. Anna and John?
Johann.
This is honestly not what I'd pictured. They're very presentable. Not at all like turnip farmers.
They're not turnip farmers. That must be Johann Fretland, master of the house.
What makes you think he's the master of anything? It's 1923, Teddy old boy. Women can vote. Wait, is that... Are they... Who's... They're all twins. All of them.
That's Johann and Anna Fretland.
There are two of each, Edward. Two of each.
Frederick and Margaret. Twins marrying twins.
It's not at
My
all
mind's
weird.
reeling. This is just too adorable.
May 26th, 1899. We'll be celebrating their silver anniversary next year.
You know that church? When Lissy's nearby to talk.
Betty might be with the Fretlands, wherever they are.
Wouldn't Anna Fretland have written you?
She might have. We left Hanover a month ago.
Oh, we can stare out the window. Longingly. I mean, there's not a lot to zoom in at. Nicholas Bolton narrated Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed, Hitman, and lots of... There you go. That's why you recognise the voice then, is it? Well, the style of church. Okay.
There's the Stave Church.
Do you think that's where they've all gone? Maybe there's a very popular funeral.
The flag was at half-mast, but no sign of life out there.
Where do you think they've gone?
The Fretlands.
The Fretlands, the Hansons, the Jensens, all of them.
I'm sure they'll be back soon.
It's like a dead land. As though its soul has departed. Well, those boys look proud as peacocks. What does it say there? Groovy?
Gruben. The mine.
Maybe that's where everyone is. Digging for precious jewels in the Stygian abyss.
From what I learned of this place during the brief stay in Ålesund, the iron mine shut down 20 years ago.
Let's go with
Frederick
partners.
and Johann Fretland, founders of the Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
Groovy
And
mind.
a spitting image of each other.
Twin brothers and business partners.
And they married twin sisters. Adorable. Who's the boy? He looks related to the other two.
Probably a son.
The mine was only in operation until 1902. They must have lost a fortune. An iron mine wouldn't pay itself off in 5 years.
Can we go spelunking? Perhaps we'll find trolls in the abyss, and we can steal their ill-gotten gold.
There was a cave-in. It'll be unsafe.
Oh, boo.
I get the feeling the whole twins, marrying twins thing is important. There's going to be some, like, weird ritual involved or something. Right, let's start with May.
Johann Fretland exits Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
So the brothers parted ways?
Johann sold his share to focus on farming.
Well, that must have put a damper on their relationship.
Tragic accident befalls the Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
What happened?
The mine collapsed, killing 3 workers, including Arne Fretland, Frederick and Johann's younger brother.
That's awful. How old was he?
19.
He might be the boy in the photograph.
Operations were suspended after the accident. Foreign investors out of Frederick Fretland's mining company. Dire financial consequences for Fretland, who must have had a difficult time after his brother Johann Fretland pulled out earlier this year.
Johann was smart to exit when he did.
The timing is curious, like he knew something was about to go awry.
So I'm already noticing things like they're commenting on when I read one thing about the previous thing we looked at. So it looks like there might have been lots of lines of dialogue recorded, and they are kind of piecing it together. So, like, if I'd read that first before looking at the picture, it probably would have said, "Oh, that person, the younger sibling, that must be the younger brother for that." Why is the newspaper in German? I don't know. Oh, can we look in the mirror?
Oof, that's a grim sight, old bean.
I'm exhausted and soaked to the bone.
Let's get you to bed.
We'll wait for the Fretlands. It's only courteous. Betty,
Have you gone screwy again, Teddy?
That's
That's
her
not
scarf.
Betty.
Her
That's...
scarf. I'd know it anywhere.
It doesn't look like anything to me. It
She
just
bought it in
looks like...
Bloomingdale's the Christmas before last. When she came home that year, she showed it off, dancing around the sitting room until I got dizzy watching her.
I think you're misremembering. She couldn't make it home that year. Again.
No, you're wrong. I'm sure she was there.
Whatever.
Look, it is her scarf. It even smells like her perfume. Shalimar.
But what if that's not...
She's here. I'm finally going to find her.
That's great, Edward, really. I wouldn't want you to get your hopes up. I mean, where's everyone gone to? Something's not right, I'm telling you.
Am I about to
Teddy?
pass out?
Edward, what's wrong?
Lightheaded, that's all.
The demons are crawling into my
You know what
mind.
happens when you exert yourself.
Right.
Sit down.
Can we look
That's
down?
an order from your commander.
Yes. Fine. I just need to catch my breath. Just for a moment.
I want you to lie down. Lie down and close your eyes. It's been a strenuous day. What with the rowing and the dragging of the suitcase up the hill.
Well, what if the Fretland...
I'll keep an eye out. I promise. If they come home, I'll wake you. Now, lie down. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply.
I'm just going to...
Wakes up in a tub of ice with his kidneys cut out, yes?
Elizabeth? Is that you? Betty? Lissy? Lissy, are you here? Where are you, Lissy?
So what's the betting? Lissy is Elizabeth. So we're distinguishing between the two. Betty is the sister he's searching for, but Lissy is like his dead sister. That's like she died when she was young or something. This is where it's going. That's where my immediate thoughts are going. Because Lissy is obviously it could be short for Alyssa, but it could also be Lissy, Lizzie. If it was Lizzie, it would be too obvious.
Hello? Hey, who's there?
So,
Betty?
the note. Can I read the note,
Elizabeth.
please?
Wait!
Or is this the note we brought with us? Dear Mrs. Fretland, I trust this letter finds you and your husband in good health. Thank you for your gracious invitation to stay in your home this October. Hope it will present no inconvenience to your family. I'm particularly something preparing for the Atlantic voyage on the SS Bergenfjord and plan to depart Boston later this month. I still have no word from my sister Elizabeth, though I hope she has made it to Gravik in time since the last letter. If this is the case, and if at all possible, I would greatly appreciate receiving a cable with the news. If Elizabeth cannot compensate you for the costs, I will, of course, do so as soon as I arrive. Presently? Yeah, I guess it could be presently, yeah. In regards to the dates of my travels, I shall be arriving in Alsland via ferry from Bergen on October the 15th. I will something. Okay.
Lissy, there's someone outside. It might be Betty. Are you in here, Lissy?
They're behind you. Right. Did she go upstairs?
Lissy, are you upstairs?
Wants us to go out the front first. We can't walk upstairs.
Who's out there? Hello? Betty?
Right. It was in that window, wasn't it?
Lissy?
Why can I not? There you go, check.
I'm not alone.
How can you tell that from a puddle? Unless it's blood. Right. Well, we know they were next to this. Though they must have been very tall. Because we saw shadows in that window. He's definitely imagining half of this. Okay, well, we'll follow the trail it's sending us on. I wouldn't be surprised if there's jump scares.
I can hear you!
You hope it doesn't have them. I mean, I don't think it's classed as a horror game, so if they are, they're just going to be like a fairly weak jump scare.
Who goes there? Wait!
Do I need to have more creepy sound effects for this? Lurk isn't going to be enough.
Someone there?
It's not exactly a climb, it's just step over the thing. God damn it. Yeah.
Hello?
No, it's going to kill the ambience.
Betty, is that you?
No, it was a goat. If you think
Are you there,
if you
Betty?
think your sister's a goat, then there's definitely something wrong with your childhood.
Shit. Elizabeth, are you there?
Well, so shouldn't he be worried about the 17-year-old girl that's gone astray? I know he's come to find his sister, but still.
The boat, Edward! Where's our boat?
Lissy. Where did you go? Why did you leave me?
It stopped raining and you were sleeping, and our boat.
I think that was just the game
gone.
saying he has them fully on again,
What?
yeah.
How?
Maybe you didn't secure it properly.
I pulled it up. I don't know. I thought I tied it securely, but
No one
did you
leaves.
see Betty?
Did I see? What are you talking about?
I think Betty. It was Betty.
Well, if
It
we
was her.
estimate average
must-
height, he's like
I saw her
5'8"
face in the window.
or something like that,
She
5'9".
vanished into the dark towards the sea.
When we went up to the window,
You really didn't
Betty must
see
be
it.
at least
You haven't
7 foot
seen a
tall
single
for
soul?
the shadow we saw.
Are you sure it was her? And
Yes.
Not.
I mean, I saw her face and it looked like her.
Well, if it was her, why did she run away?
I don't know. It's getting dark.
You got to go back and check the VOD for that shadow. Yeah.
And tomorrow.
Tomorrow's another day, Teddy Bear. We'll figure it out. Right now, let's get you cleaned up. Look at you. You've got mud all over yourself. And then you really need to
It's
sleep.
better than the blood on my
I'm
hands.
exhausted. Come on.
It was about 5 minutes ago. It's before we exited the house. It's when we woke up, we walked into the living room, and then we saw the shadow in the window. Before we started reading that letter on the kitchen table.
Teddy, come outside. It's a beautiful day.
So yeah, the height of the shadow, it was like in those middle frames was like the top of the head, but if we were to go outside now,
I just about given up on you ever waking up.
this is very pretty.
Sleep well?
I dreamed of Betty. She was in the garden, and she called for me.
How about
Like I
you,
said.
Lissy dearest? Oh, you know me.
Our height of
Wide
this,
awake at first light.
like I said, she must be like 7-8 feet tall.
They did not. There's no sign of anyone. Aside from last night's Mistwalker.
I've been thinking about that.
Everything is water level and straight. Shadow. Still confused about what happened last
What?
night. Did I?
It was dark. Maybe I just saw a shadow.
Chasing a shadow. That's very unlike you, old boy. Usually you scurry off in the opposite direction.
I didn't get a good look. I'm not even sure there was anyone there.
Well, there must be someone here. And I'm not talking about ghosts. Or goats. What was it you said yesterday? Maybe they're peeking at us through the windows.
I'll take a gander. The Fretlands will be home soon.
Yeah, it's one hell of a funeral if it took
I
this
know
long.
it. I feel it.
If you say so, teddy bear. Have you had your noodle juice yet?
I'm not rummaging through their cupboards.
You'll be a pill without your tea and toast, old bean. We need to get you sorted.
I'm not hungry. First point on the agenda. Find the natives.
A mission! Hot dog! I'll scout ahead. I'll meet you down by those houses.
Let's uncover your secrets, Grovik.
Okay. So we are here. Yeah, we want to eventually make our way to the church, don't we? So that's the letter we received. We can't do any more, okay. Jade Press Journal, okay. Oh, and I can run now! We have a bit of freedom. Okay. Oh, right, okay. We're drawing in our sketchbook. Okay, so there's a... I wonder, all those kind of points on the journey up the hill where we were resting, whether they're all going to be points where we can take a moment and draw a picture. Most pointless game ever. You need to press to get out of the drawing. Okay. Well, I'm pushing buttons. E, F. Oh, there you go. F. I'm pressing and holding. X. Oh, W, yeah. Okay. Right, weren't we looking through, like, one of these windows to see the church over there or something? I thought we looked through, like, one of these windows to see a church. Clearly can't see it from here. Can't go into the basement yet. But the fact now we can actually run has immediately improved things. So I take it you've already played this then, Pixel. I heard it was like 2 to 3 hours long. And obviously walking sim.
Up here, Teddy.
Running sim now. Okay.
It's such a beautiful day. You could bottle in
That's where they
there in Boston.
scrapped this game like 3 weeks ago and just made it again in a week.
Careful you don't fall.
You suck the fun out of everything, old boy.
We're far from any doctor. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Oh, okay,
That's
now
not
if you do what you need, okay.
I thought you were scouting ahead.
What do you think I'm doing? Vantage point, like on a pirate ship. I can probably see our house in Hanover from here.
Did you check those buildings?
Knocking on doors isn't a scout's job, old bean.
Right, well, let's go down.
Hello?
Hello!
Anyone here?
Why, hello, Mr. American. Please come in for a cup of tea and biscuits.
You're not helping.
I'm just here to
Also,
borrow some
no,
sugar. Complete in and out.
Hello? Who?
Is that a name? Farida?
Hello? Anyone home? September 21st, 1923. Vi desperata. Lissy, found something here.
Isn't she outside, though?
From words to stones. Blood has been spilled. The curse haunts us all. There is no hope left in... Good Sforlata. Good. God. Right. In this
Traitor.
God-forsaken place. The death of the... Jiminy. Death of the children was the end of Grovik. Whatever remained of our souls departed with them. You should
This
see
Silent
this,
Hill?
Lizzie. The letter just trails off. Was never sent.
Anything else in the house? No, I'm guessing it would have a white dot on it. At least there's that. There's only we only have to worry about things that have got
Did you
dots
see
on them.
this door closing?
It was just the wind, Teddy Bear. You're as skittish as a pussycat.
Oh no, they've started again, have they? Oh. Your router's cursed at this rate, isn't it?
Anyone home?
Unless they're playing hide and go seek, I'd say that's a no.
Hello?
3 strikes, you're out.
I don't think anyone's been home for a while. Someone painted the word traitor on one of the doors. And there was a letter. It sounded...
Okay, I'm pressing shift to run, but we're not allowed. We're not allowed to run at this
Where
point.
are you going?
Towards the church, aren't we? Yeah.
Edward, I'm talking to you. Teddy, where are you going?
I was gonna get the beard trimmers out today, but I didn't get a chance.
Well, you were wrong. The villagers are not indoors.
Let's go with
I
explore.
saw some sheds down by the water. There's the general store, the church.
In other words, time for some sightseeing? Well, it's a bright and beautiful day, and we have nothing better to do.
What on earth are you doing?
Handstands, Teddy! My record is 2 minutes. I'm working on 3. Just go on ahead. I'll catch up.
Right. Well, they pointed out the church, so we're going to go for the church. Presuming we can get up there. Do we have to have a poll? Shaven or unshaven? And it'd be a dead heat, wouldn't it? You found Lissy super annoying. Well, my current working theory is that Lissy is actually Elizabeth. And it's like the younger version of her. She died when she was 17 or something. And we're just, like, mentally ill. We're seeing ghosts from our past.
A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that.
Right, there's going to be a highlightable...
These graves. What happened?
Oh, right, I thought you were doing handstands.
But look at the soil. These are recent.
Just shave one side.
Why would they board up a church?
To keep the ghosts from... What does that say?
God is not here.
Any way through? No, apparently not. Nothing, nothing. Right.
Betty would have taken plenty of constitutionals here. She loves the outdoors.
How so? She's a city girl.
I'm sure she gets tired of Manhattan. And when she was little, she loved playing in the garden back in Hanover, especially around the pond.
Are you alright?
I just miss her.
Okay, so Elizabeth died via drowning, and this is where Valdir, you said Draugen was like a spirit that captured people and dragged them into the water. So that we've already called it. We've already solved the mystery. We can go home now,
So
can we?
much for that. No wedding, no baptism, no funeral.
There must be people somewhere. Where are you going?
For constitutional. To breathe some of this salty sea air. You go on ahead. I'll find you.
Right. Not sitting down to draw pictures? No, okay. Think around that side. No. Right, so it's the sheds down by the docks and... Oh, he said general store, didn't he? So is that the farmhouse we came from? It probably is. Yeah, because we went slightly downhill, didn't we? Back down to the docks, or are we going to follow this path up? I guess we do the sheds down by the docks. When do I get the gun and when do the monsters appear? I hate to break it to your fears, but I'm fairly sure it's not one of those type of games. Mutant movement tutorials taking forever.
How about we don't go back to Hanover and stay here instead?
And how will
Oh,
I
we can
survive?
read that?
Frederick Fretland and son.
Johann's brother and nephew.
The Fretlands have their fingers in all the pies, including...
It's a company town.
Why lock any doors? I can't imagine they have a problem with...
Fretland and Son.
How do you figure?
It's on the sign above the entrance. And on this photograph. Frederick and Simon Fretland.
Odin's milk. I don't know what part of Odin's body you milk to put it in a can, but we'll just skim right over that, shall we?
They had a memorial service for the accident in the mine. On July 24th, in the village
I don't
church.
think there was a field of
Something
view
that happened
slider.
20 years ago?
It still affected their lives. The ferry route is no longer operating.
Rats!
Mrs. Fretland already informed me in her letter.
I know. Still warrants a resounding rats.
I wonder why it stopped running.
Look around. How many people live here? 20? 30? That can't be enough for a ferry route.
Things got quieter after the mine closed down.
They need to move on and find something else to put their village on the map.
Scandinavian mythology, anything is quite possible, and a lot of it very likely. You're going to call it. No worries. You take it easy, Zappa. Hopefully I'll catch you again soon. He pities the village, disconnected as it is. His arms are still sore from the trip. Let's pity the village.
So isolated, with no easy way in or out.
Aren't there boats?
You saw how much work it was to cross the fjord. And if the weather's bad...
It can't be healthy, being so isolated. Cooped up inside, reading the collected works.
Yeah, all right. I get
This
it.
village is basically you two.
I said all right.
Right.
The telegraph is out of order.
Well, there goes my plan. NOSOS.
This was 2 years ago, but the notice is still up.
How can it take 2 years to get something like that fixed?
If they couldn't afford it? Or couldn't get anyone to come fix it?
Well, this
They
place
couldn't
really
cable
is up.
anybody to come and fix the cable.
There be dragons. Or Draugans, I guess.
The ferry would have made the trip here much easier.
And you wouldn't have had to pay that farmer a fortune to rent his boat.
I had no choice.
We should keep his boat.
Also,
If it comes
pay
back.
pay to
Bring
replace
with
it
us to
now.
Hanover.
Do what with it exactly?
I don't know. Throw parsley in it? Use it in the pond? Forget it. Stupid idea.
Also, the girl's voice does sound familiar. Sky Bennett. I've heard her in something else before. I don't know what though. The rope's been cut.
There's no damage to the rope.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody cut it. I guess the knot could have unraveled on its own.
Didn't you say you used a sailor's knot?
I'm a scholar, not a fisherman.
So who took our boat? A ghost?
There
Mystery.
must be a logical explanation. It's safe to say no ghost in the night stole our boat.
If you say so. But then who were you chasing after last night? A shadow?
I don't know. It was probably all in my head.
It's that same person that was we were chasing all the round in Firewatch.
I thought someone would have seen us by now.
Even if they were all hiding indoors. Maybe there was a spell or curse that made them all invisible.
Honestly, Lissy.
Or maybe we are the invisible ones. But then we would see them, wouldn't
We're
we?
trapped in limbo.
No, I think my original thesis is more likely.
The villagers turning invisible is the more likely thesis.
Do try to keep an open mind, Edward, darling.
Okay, that's enough sketching. Are we actually collecting these in our book? Let's have a look. So yeah, we've got 2 pictures. Right.
A boat! Teddy! A hot dog! This is our ticket out of here!
Not
It's a little
not
rotten. Well, so that's still glowing there. Did we only said like what was it, mystery? Oh no, it's the box that's glowing. I thought it was still the rope. Right. Can we hop across the rocks? We can. Come on, read it. Why can I not
What's this?
click on that
remnants
to
of the
read?
mining operation.
What, mine?
Remember, I told you yesterday. There was a mine here, but it closed down 20 years ago.
I know, Edward. I was just checking for a sense of humor. Still nowhere to be found.
Well, there's a dot here. We can read it.
Till Minna Om. It's a memorial. 3 men died when the mine collapsed in 1902. Georg Hatlestad, Niels Frambu, Arne Fretland.
See, this is what working a regular job. Did you say Fretland?
The younger brother who was mentioned in the article.
Accident? Tragic incident like this one. Who knows? And the community so small would be felt by everyone.
The newspaper said the accident forced the mine to shut down.
What does any of this have to do with us?
I still don't know why Elizabeth came here.
And you think it has something to do with this mine?
Or with what it did to the village. Maybe. He was just 19.
How long had he been working in the mine? That's too young for a dirty job like digging into rock.
We're in the real world, Lissy. Most teeners don't have the luxury to idle away their days with games and witty repartee.
Ouch.
What? We're not allowed to all be on the internet? Right. Anything in this shed? No. Okay, we got a save point. Well, there's multiple boats. We're just not going to be sailing away in any of them anytime soon. Presumably this goes to the mine.
No trespassing for traitors.
Cool. Want to jump the gate and explore what's on the other side?
Isn't particularly enthused by the idea of
Listen,
climbing the
sport.
fence and braving the path uphill.
It's not safe.
Oh, horse feathers! You may be the most boring man in this country. Where's your sense of adventure, old sport? Don't you want to see where these tracks go?
They lead to the old mine, and no. I've had enough adventure on this side of the fence. Besides, they wrote no trespassing for a reason.
You're such a terrible bore, Teddy Bear. I'll wager 1,000 clams you'll jump this gate at some point, if you believe Betty's on the other side.
Frederick Fretland. Who are these traitors he refers to?
What now? We've
Well, the
looked
only
everywhere.
person I can think would be a
Really doesn't
traitor would
seem
be
to
his
anyone
brother.
around.
Maybe
The
we
one who
missed something.
split away from the
An
business.
important clue. How about the general store? We haven't been inside yet.
It looked deserted, but worth another look, I guess.
And it is poking us with clues, I guess. So it is being helpful in that sense. Yep. So everywhere where we got a rest point, we can probably draw. So that bird is desperate to get inside, apparently.
Is that? Lissy, come here. It's Betty's hat. She was here. She could still be in there. Betty? Betty!
Are you sure, Edward? I mean, it's just a hat. Is it even a hat?
I
I'm not
know
sure.
my sister's hat, Lissy. I have to get
Don't
inside.
tell me. We go and
What
put
about
that on the
breaking and
mannequin
entering part?
back
I
at the
could
house
care
as well.
less what they call it. I need to get inside. If Betty's in there,
Perhaps there's a back door. Or an open window.
Let me in, let me in, let me in. Oh look, ladders. Nope, not using the ladders. Conveniently,
here's an
window
open
ajar.
You seem eager to break the law. I approve.
It won't budge.
Aw, don't be a milquetoast.
Well, it's stuck.
Attaboy, Teddy. You can do this.
Pull harder.
I can't believe I'm actually breaking. Whoops, Daisy.
Oh my, Teddy. You're such a sap.
Come on, get up, get up.
Charles Harden. Tanty, world traveler, cat burglar.
A cat burglar would, by definition, enter a building on a higher floor.
The state of this place.
Oh, Betty.
Edward.
I hope you weren't here when...
Is this... blood?
And murder.
Not necessarily human blood.
Well, that's alright then. What does it say? Barn murder? Someone murdered a barn?
Barn means child. And mortar, that's...
Child murder. Edward, they murdered a child?
Someone thought so.
Probably the same someone who vandalized the store.
I'm not sure how I feel about being in here.
Don't be ridiculous. We're all alone. What else do you suggest we do?
Okay. Well, before we go get the hat. Yep. The image has been turned off.
Johann's gone. At least, I assume he's the one who's been... snip.
Frederick clearly did not want anything to do with his twin brother.
Traitor! You turn off all connections now running on your phone data. Okay. Just in case we need to get out of here quickly. Right, let's go get the hat.
Damnation. The hat's in here.
Calm down, old boy. Anyway, how's a hat going to help us?
Who knows what else is in here? There could be more clues.
Alright. Okay. Everything's Jake. We made
Oh,
it into
telegraph.
the store.
Out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps there wasn't much demand for it anymore. These were never sent.
How long have they been piling up?
I received Mrs. Fretland's letter in June.
A couple of months. Perhaps the world forgot about Grovik.
Must be at least 10 envelopes. Yeah, he notices. All of them stamped and addressed, but stuck in perpetual
These were
limbo.
never sent.
How long have they been piling up?
I received Mrs. Fretland's letter in June.
A couple of months. Perhaps the world forgot about Grovik.
Till Simon Fraruth.
Out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps there wasn't much demand for it anymore.
What are you doing?
Looking for keys.
Your life of crime continues.
There's a note.
Is it written in Viking runes? What does it say?
It's from Simon.
Casa Yebut.
Casa. I don't know what that word means.
Use up all those precious datas. Yeah.
Yai put it means I put. Nurkel is key.
He put the key in the casa?
Casa. I wish I had my dictionary. The note's addressed to his father.
So the key was moved. But where to?
Somewhere safer. Or
Casa?
more
The
convenient.
toilet?
Can we really trust
Is it the
your
Kazi?
translations? You only started studying a month ago.
I spent the summer reading, and I had a lot of free time on the ocean voyage.
Come on, how much could you possibly pick up in a few months?
You know my mind, it's a sponge.
Casa as in cash register. Right, okay. Well, apparently we can't get into there. Oh.
Why would Frederick keep a list of what he calls traitors?
What did they do to him?
Cross him in some way. Why
Johan?
else keep a list of undesirables?
So, Johan is at the top of the list. Somebody in Nils. I'm struggling with the handwriting. We've got another Johan. Harbour and Peldley? Oh, I don't know. Forget it. Right, well, there's no more dots. Germanic languages are easy. Little bit of context, phonetic pronunciation can figure out a lot. Yeah. Well, there's nothing else to mess with in here. We're clearly not leaving. That's still looking. Is your chat working? I don't know. Is it? I can see what you're writing. No, you're... Ah, there we go. Now there's a dot.
So that's what it means. Cash register. You're a genuine gangster now, old fruit. Don't worry. If you get busted, I'll come visit you in the big house. Wasn't there supposed to be a key?
Here it is.
He took that out very tentatively.
Lissy, nothing. It is her hat.
Teddy, I'm not
Betty
sure
was
that's...
here, and not long ago.
Okay, but if that is her hat, what's it doing in a locked storeroom?
Another breadcrumb.
That's not an answer.
I know for sure she was here. That's what matters.
You know best, Edward.
Someone type
So,
something. Something.
What now? If this is a breadcrumb, where's the next one?
There must be a reason her hat's in this room.
What's that?
A handwritten note.
I'm not blind. What does it say, you silly goose?
It's hard to read. I'm not sure my translation will be... Johann, you... Nectar. Refuse. You refuse to speak to me, so I write this letter instead. It's from Frederick Fretland.
People are saying things to you, Noob. Whether you can read them or not, I don't know.
Did not... Bloody hell. Simon did not murder...
It's too much. One's gone and one can't see it, chat. We have free reign.
Ruth is the daughter of Anna and Johann, which means the little girl in the photograph at the farmhouse. Oh, Edward. The Fretland girl was murdered.
No wonder that guy's got a
Simply
shit
awful.
list then.
Simon was working at the farm while I tended to the store. I would have seen him had he passed on the way up to the cliffs.
They thought Simon killed Ruth. His own cousin.
Ruth was... What's that word? Playing. Ruth was always playing on the rocks below the church. She must have fallen by accident. The note ends there.
Accident or push?
Frederick never finished it. And Johann never read it. Not that it would have made a difference. If Johann
The
thought...
mob showed up for Simon. His father would have tried to protect him.
September 17th.
You got your game to run. No worries. Good luck.
Possibly.
Hopefully,
Isn't the church
your
right above us?
cadre of vampires.
Edward,
What is the collective
come look
now
at
for
this.
vampires?
That's the cliff. Right there. The one in the note? I bet you 1,000,000 clams.
Where?
See for
Well,
yourself.
hopefully they do something of interest and don't throw you for a loop anyway. Come on, let's go then. Are we just supposed to be looking out the window?
I guess that could be where...
Let's check it out.
No, listen.
You're gonna
wait.
kill them all! Yeah, but you have to make them suffer first. You have to just, like, dangle a little bit of hope in front of them. DM Rage. Anyway, you take it easy, Bert, and hopefully I'll catch you again soon.
This way. I found it, Teddy. The cliff. I'm standing right below it.
What are you doing? This doesn't concern
A
us.
little girl died. We're staying in her home, for God's sake. Are you completely without heart? Get yourself up here, Edward Harden, right this minute.
I guess we
Come on,
climb here.
It's an
Yep.
easy climb.
This looks very dangerous.
Oh, you're a big boy.
Might throw a werewolf at them. Just the one? I'm sure you could. It could have a pack of werewolves. They never run alone. Cadre of ankle biters. I mean, what level are they? They're like
Ruth died.
You're
1 or
being
2,
morbid.
3.
And this is
They've
a
not been going for
distraction.
too long, have they?
I'm here for Betty, not because some girl
Edward.
got herself.
You insensitive brute. You're like the Tin Woodman, no heart. You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With only books and bugs to keep you company for years and years and years.
Every
There are
time
other
loot would be a
people in
mimic.
this world, you know. It's not all about you. You're going to do this. If not for Ruth,
Endgame
then
would be
for
them
us.
running around naked
We're
being
going to
chased by
figure out what
mimics.
happened to the poor girl. Together.
Right. Damage.
Something struck this bush. She must have landed.
child's
on it
head.
when- on her way down.
That's
Oh, right, the
ghastly,
blood
Edward.
smear.
Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood.
That's awful. I think there's something behind it. Can you move the rock aside?
Is this tampering with evidence?
It must be Ruth's.
Where's the head?
Maybe the killer also decapitates dolls.
Hold on. This pin. This is old. Very old. Looks like something from the Viking era.
We are in the land of Vikings.
This could be 1,000 years old. It does not belong on a child's doll.
Who cares? Ruth is dead and you're obsessing about a rusty old pin? Let's go further up. Maybe we'll find more clues. Come on, old sport. It's not far.
Can you wait just 1 minute so that I can catch my breath?
Okay.
Do you follow the same path, Betty? Or am I just stumbling through darkness?
You can see clear beyond the edge of the world.
One
Oh,
second.
Teddy Bear. We need to take you out walking more often.
So,
Can I
Girl.
not look at the thing?
fell from up here.
Was pushed, you mean? Can you see where she fell? Seeing as you're so concerned about me falling out of trees, I wouldn't want to risk falling off a cliff.
Lean.
Certainly high enough to kill a child.
What
do you mean? That's high enough to kill an adult? Land on your head on a rock, you're
Landed
probably
like a
dead.
rock. If she fell head first on that rock, she'd have died instantly.
Edward, honestly.
You wanted to learn more. This is you learning more. She hit her head and fell into the bush where I found her doll. Happy now, Alice?
Internet
Not.
problems?
What was she doing up here in the first place?
Playing? She was a child. Children play in dangerous places.
There must be more to it. Let's find out where this path leads.
No, absolutely not. I don't
Well,
have
there's
time
still
for
that
this
path up
nonsense.
there we never...
Running out of daylight, and Betty's still... You're
Okay.
still out there.
There was still the path that led left from the gate of the church, wasn't
Lissy?
there?
Slow down. I can't keep up with you.
So we still
Who
need to go
knows
that
what's
way
up
at some
there?
point.
It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissy? Are you there?
Teddy,
My word. Look away, Lissy.
is this what happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
It's one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
What about those fresh graves at the church?
Okay.
There were at
How long's
least
he been
half
here?
A dozen of them. Did everyone just die?
They're not necessarily connected.
Oh, come on. This is just... What does that say?
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother drowned
Don't.
herself? Sorry.
Okay, so this is another element of the pond back home. The Hanged
Who
Man.
was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick. And he's too old to be Simon.
Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the Hanged Man before she died.
Guard
It
something
scared
something.
her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back. Let the poor soul rest in peace.
Does it look like he's resting in peace?
Can we go further up the mountain?
You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. This
Also,
is
we're not the cops. We don't deal with dead
tragic,
bodies.
but really none of my concern.
Betty. Always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else. What if that was me up there?
Downloading Windows
Would you
Update
care
after
then?
some
All you
vulnerable
do
code was found.
is
Oh, right.
obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the Hanged Man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect.
You want me to dig a
Please,
grave?
just
Is that
do
it?
this one decent deed. If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty.
The proportions seem so off. I don't know. I think it's just that there's something kind of like it's not supposed to be quite human. It's a mannequin. Could be. I mean, don't walk up to her that close. Right. She wants us to cut him down or something.
What are you doing? You can't just pull him down by his legs. Try loosening the noose.
I can't reach that far.
You mean he hasn't got a switchblade in his pocket? Shh.
I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy. Edward. I know you can. You've been through much worse.
So, did he discover his dead mother after she committed suicide? Somebody certainly drowned in the pond back home. And my guess is it's Betty. And he's been deluding himself all these years.
Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight,
They're not coming back.
perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened?
Perhaps she fell by accident.
So you don't think it was murder?
It's difficult to say with any certainty. The boy could have pushed her.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
All right. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck. I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking.
Now tell me, is the hat on the mannequin already? Anything else in here? Prodible? No? Okay. I mean, can we go upstairs at all? We can. I mean, the fact that they're forcing you at a relatively slow pace, I think it's holding up pretty nicely. So I presume you played this all cranked up to the max, did you, Pixel? Right. Let's start at the end and work our way back. Nothing? Nope, apparently not. There's got to be some incriminating evidence somewhere. Yeah, it's behind the locked door, isn't it? Ruth. Okay, this is definitely going to be locked then. Ice giants, maybe? Possibly? Is that her dad and uncle fighting? Looks like it. Looks like we're going to be visiting a cave soon. Well, I mean, there is a mine. So I'm guessing we're going into the mine at some point. It does feel a bit framey when we're looking in this direction. This way's fine, but as soon as we turn this way... Okay, then, for Bandelson. So... Probably we're not allowed to go there and touch that. It's being protected. This better be a prequel to Doom series and ends with a portal to hell being opened. How did you guess, Fears? Can we actually read it? Oh no, I was trying to zoom in and turn my head. This... something I had... lemon juice in hot water with no sugar instead of tea. This morning, then. I also had half an apple and dry toast. I've been gaining weight lately. I read about this diet in the paper. It's apparently very popular in London, but I am dreadfully hungry and close and dare find eggs and sausages. We received odd letter yesterday addressed to Johann. It's from an American gentleman, Mr. Edward Hardy, whoever we are, of Hanover, Massachusetts. The letter was well written and very polite. Mr. Harden, I suppose it could be Harden, that could be an N, yeah, received our information from the... no idea. Police when he requested a contact in Gravik. I do wonder why they gave him Johann's name and not Frederick. Perhaps because... oh dear. Oh dear. No, is no longer with us. I am better prepared to respond in English than Frederick. Mr. Harden inquired about his sister, Elizabeth Harden, who's travelling on her own. Apparently she's a journalist. Imagine that. Something crossing the Atlantic Ocean to write about Norway. It sounds wonderful. Hold R, there you go. Where did we get to? Crave fried eggs and sausage. There we go. Sounds wonderful. Letter said Elizabeth telegraphed her brother from Alsund to inform him that she planned to visit Gravik. Why she wanted to come to this dreary old place, I have no idea. There's nothing here worth writing about anymore. His sister has not arrived yet. If she had, I would have tired her out with questions about America. Being a journalist and travelling the world on her own, she sounds so interesting. I hope she does come, even though she would surely be bored out of her mind. I'll write Mr. Harden today. Johan is not comfortable writing letters, especially in English. He agrees that we should invite Mr. Harden to stay here if he decides to come. After all, there are no guest house in Gravik, and our spare room is rarely used. Also, I have to admit, having a visitor from America sounds terribly exciting. This morning I had a boiled egg and buttered toast after Johan told me I was being silly and that I do not need to lose any weight, seeing as we are not in London and no one cares. I wrote Mr. Harden and invited him to stay in our house if he decides to come. I'm terribly excited. I do worry for his sister. I wonder where she could be. There was an argument in the shop earlier today. Frederick was yelling at poor Astrid, claiming their goats had been grazing on his land, and I wanted to speak up, but knew it would only make him angrier. Johan went across the fjord this morning to purchase some necessities, including new fabrics, and to pick up the post. The letters have been piling up in the store. I sometimes worry the world has completely forgotten about us. I finished another dress today. This one is for myself. There are no customers anymore. No one here needs another dress. It's been ages since I visited the city. I hardly know anyone there. And who would want their dresses made in Gravik when they could have one tailored in Elsland? I feel lonely today. I miss my dear Margaret so much after all these years. I think Ruth is hiding something from me. She's been awfully secretive. She goes off on her own, even more than usual, and her clothes are filthy. Don't mind her playing and exploring, of course. I always did regret Margaret and I not being allowed to run free when we were little. Ruth says she's just looking for flowers and pretty rocks. I shouldn't worry so much. Simon stopped by today with a gift for Ruth, a whole bar of chocolate. He is a sweet boy, but Frederick would be furious if he knew. Asked Ruth if she plays up by Frederick's farm or near the old mine. She promised she doesn't. I've never had reason not to trust her, but I still feel she's hiding something from me. Last entries. I looked at her drawing while she was out. She's got such an imagination. We received another letter from Mr. Harden. He'll be here in October as planned. I look forward to having someone else to speak with, if only for a few days. Not that Johan isn't good company, but we have a little to converse about outside our daily routines. There's been no sign of Mr. Harden's sister yet. She left Alsland weeks ago. Where could she be? She may well have decided to stop along the way. We've heard nothing, but so rarely speak with anyone outside of Gravik these days. I do hope she's all right. I would hate for Mr. Harden to come all this way to no avail. Ruth is still being secretive. I know she's hiding something. One of these days I will follow her. No church service again today. The vicar hasn't been back since the memorial service in July. Johan believes he won't be back, and that he has given up on Gravik. Like everyone else, I think I'm coming down with a cold. Someone damaged our boat during the night. That's the third one this month. Okay, so somebody is here and he's sabotaging boats. Keep everyone here. So, like, the older brother that thought everyone was a traitor has clearly gone mad. And anybody that's, like, straying is probably coming under his wrath. Johan suspects Frederick, of course. I fear something is bubbling to the surface again after all these years. I'm not at all feeling well. Spent most of yesterday and today in bed. Ruth was sweet and brought me potato soup and tea with honey and milk. She has left us. Our dearest Ruth is gone. I cannot believe it was Simon's doing. He too is now gone. With him, all hope Gravik had left in it. So it's sometime between the 15th and the 18th the kid died. What, both of them? So Simon probably died within a couple of days. Probably getting lynched. Or something. Right, there was another dot, wasn't there? Here. The Draugen Waltz. Is this where we're summoning the beast from the deep? It's not quite the Necronomicon. Raised by music. Okay, anything else? Also, I got an achievement. Piano Man. Right, we went into the kids' room. Like I said, there's going to be a hat on the mannequin now, isn't there? We already read that letter. Oh, the kid followed me. Jeez. She is creepy. I don't know where he's been keeping that.
What are you doing?
It's not the sort of thing you can put in your pocket.
I don't think it's healthy.
Not now, please. I'm exhausted.
Right, I guess we're sitting down. Well, lying down.
Quite the day, huh?
I'm ready to pass out.
Well, clearly Lissy isn't real because we never see her eat or sleep.
My mind's simply racing.
Don't stay up late. Wake me if you hear the Fretlands arriving.
Of course. And I'll keep my eyes open for any ghosts that might want to haunt you in your sleep.
There are no...
Hush now. Sleep.
More bad dreams? Day 3. It's day 3 in the Norwegian house. Right. We put enough clothes on that thing, does it come to life? Is that it?
Teddy? Is that you? I'm upstairs.
Oh, got into the kids' room. Day 3 in the Norwegian outback, yeah.
This is her room.
Yeah, I know, I've already poked around in here.
Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then... nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic.
Like I said, we're going into the mine. It's obvious.
I'll help you look.
Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8. She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
The mine!
Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
something important enough to draw.
Treasure. Adults are fighting
That
again.
must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear.
Right. this round here. I want to look at this.
Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
For Banelson. The curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew. It looks like this box under her desk.
We never saw that
Really?
before.
Let me see. Pull it out.
It was dark in here last night. We missed that. It did just look like the wooden floor.
What is this?
A trove of
I believe
Viking.
this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
It's a
Not
curse
in
box.
terms of monetary value, but
It's a mimic!
historic. Well, they belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
This is where it came from. Her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
In
If
the
we're to
mine.
believe her drawing, perhaps the mine. She may have found a gravesite. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things.
Okay. Nope.
She made her bed that morning. Before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you
That's
like
a
this
church
today?
service of some sort.
Betty's not the only person in the world that matters.
She matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth?
Draugen.
Hey, the undead monster from those folk tales you read.
What an odd book for a child to have.
I don't know. Children love scary stories. This looks interesting. Read some of it to me, please.
In Norwegian folklore, the appearance of Draugen, the reanimated corpse of a drowned mariner, heralds death. Draugen haunts the Black Seas in a shattered boat. The beast has a man's body and wears a sou'wester, but instead of a head, there is tangled seaweed, and the revenant's chilling cry freezes mortal blood to ice. Draugen has the power to enter the dreams of the living. If you wake from such a dream, you have been spared, though someone close to you... That's enough of that. It's nonsense, of course. Not something a child should
Also,
be
my
reading.
original translation
Draugen
when
took our boat?
Valdir was going
Maybe
on
he's
about
out
what
there,
do you think
on the
Draugen means?
fjord.
I said
Waiting for nightfall
drow
so he can
being
return to shore.
reanimated
Your
corpse.
soul lacks poetry,
So
Edward Charles
Draugen
Harden.
reanimated
I pity you.
mariner. So I was right, partially. Right, let's look at the church service picture.
This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
Well,
There's
I
a
guess
story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
Well, she didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic
This is
events.
what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth
Yes, we
was
don't want to be
troubled.
putting ideas
The
in women's
village was
heads. They'll
troubled,
have
and-
notions.
Is that a bell?
The church bell. Someone's here. Maybe Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble.
Also, wasn't it all boarded up?
I need to get to the church right now.
Wait, isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night? We
I
should be
told
careful.
you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to think about...
Excuse me.
About all
Oh, there
this.
you are. So I was going to say, where'd she disappear off to?
Do you see anyone?
They must be inside the church.
So why is the chair out? Oh. We'll click the picture. There's probably the achievement or something for doing all the pictures. That's probably as much as we need. Oop, down. Okay, randomly disappearing for a split second and actually scare the shit out of you. Clang. So if we are saying that there might be, you know, achievement for getting all the pictures, let's just find every bench there is. Nope. I know there was one down here which we never sat on. We said about it, but we never did it. There you go. There you go. That's all we need. Right. Up to the church. Oh, so he's getting plenty of cardio, isn't he? Spending the entire time running around. Graphics are solid. Like I said, very pretty game. I mean, mechanically, there's not a lot there. It's just walk forward, click on the glowing spot. But it's a first-person exploration walking sim type game. Like I said, we never went any further up here. So before we go to the church, I'm going to take a quick peek up this direction. So it seems to circle back to the farmhouse. Who would have thought it was announced 5 years ago, and the early trailer showed a real horror game? I swear they knocked it out in a weekend. I don't remember any old trailers for this, honestly. I remember the early stuff for Ethan Carter. But I don't remember anything years ago for this. Because hasn't Red Thread released games in the interim then? If you say it was about 5 years ago, they did a trailer for this. I'm sure they've done something in the interim between then and now, which was more of a substantive. Again, I think it was narrative based, but it was Red Threads. They didn't do like Siberia as a. Was it Siberia? Something like that. Siberia, Dreamfall chapters. Was it Dreamfall? I know that they're related. There's is a developer like that.
All these fresh graves.
Started out after Dreamfall, yeah.
No one's touched these since yesterday.
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church.
Oh, you're doing a 3D print.
God
What
is the
of?
wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through.
nature, not God.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Can you peek through the boards?
No, because it gets all fuzzy. Microtome proto model. Okay.
See anyone?
No,
Listen! The bell! They're still in there!
Hello? I heard the bell.
This is giving me
I'm
the
here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Kick them down! Oh, there you go. Many hours
Look at
later.
The Ethel becomes an Edward. Didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet. Betty? Are you here? Hello? This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister,
Stop
Elizabeth.
shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only ghosts here.
There are no ghosts.
I don't know about that. What's this rope for?
The bell. Lissy, look.
It's a pair of
Betty's
gloves.
They are definitely Betty's.
Oh, for
She got
Pete's
these
sake.
in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make
Breadcrumbs.
sense.
She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves, her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a
Betty
labyrinth.
will have left more crumbs.
Betty, you're turning into such a pill. What happened here?
The sign on the door.
Isn't this a fire hazard?
They're not always lit. Each candle represents a single prayer.
That's a lot of prayers.
There were a lot of deaths. They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it. This was an act of desperation and anger. The church book, a record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And, Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead...
Her name would be in the book.
The pages have been torn out.
tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look. How many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me. I've never
Passages
seen you read the Bible
highlighted.
before.
For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Olden English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes. Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be
Always
blasphemous.
look
Given
on
that
the
this is all
bright
fiction,
side.
blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic.
Cheer up, you old
I
bugger.
wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are. The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you. Found another one. You get it. It's right here. What's that?
The last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language. He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
Division, forgiveness, curse.
It sounds like Grovik was split in two. Between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
The sermon is from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and disagreements. Tilly varandra.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly. But I wonder if they were even here.
Remember the wedding picture? They were close friends once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
You call each other traitors, but the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us. Here's something else. Many of you believe Grovik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse.
I'm waiting for
that
somebody to
means?
find a radio, and we turn it on and hear nothing but static, and then the air raid siren goes, and the creepy things start coming out to play.
What are you doing? We're in a church.
Thought you didn't believe in God. You found another one? Don't forget about this page.
Yeah.
2 for 2. A tie. Good job, Teddy. Old
Stop,
bean.
Lissy. This is not a game. Betty's out there.
I'm pretty sure this is a
Oh,
game.
horse feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Betty. Will you ever shut up about your precious Betty? Put those pages back.
This book goes back years. It lists births and deaths. Here's the third Fretland brother. The one who died in a cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
What does that mean again?
Curse.
That word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Ruth's drawing and the sermon both mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
That's a lot. Murd.
Here. Ruth Elsa Fretland. She was buried in the cemetery. And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh, that's dreadful.
He drowned the day after Ruth died.
Well, we know that from
Probably no
reading the
coincidence.
diary in the
See that scribbled
farmhouse,
next
didn't
to
we?
it?
Mord?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say. After the children, a half-dozen deaths in a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Edward, if it killed everyone, how's that not a curse?
Who buried them all? Who wrote these things in the book?
Next to those names at the bottom. For a
Traitor.
Traitor.
Edward? What's wrong?
The final entry. There's no name. Alice, what if...
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty,
It doesn't mean she's...
she's not dead. She can't be. I'd know.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Ship to run.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me!
Right.
Edward!
You better not be here, Betty. I'll never... Where is it?
That's old. It's rusted, so it's... We're looking for a new grave? I guess we're looking for one with a dot on it. Ah, this is a new grave.
This one. It's unmarked.
What are you doing? Have you gone completely mad? Edward, stop it!
Just a spot of grave robbing.
Thank God. It's not her. It's not Betty. It's not her.
Oh, Edward. What have you done?
Also, why wasn't she in a box?
I was so afraid.
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister like
Or
that.
what? Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us? You've spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's
You do
left
some
of
benching.
it?
Quiet!
I think he's about to fully snap.
Leave me be!
Fine.
Told you.
Lissy?
All in his head.
Alice? Come back!
Oh, Alice. That's
Don't
the Lissy.
leave
Not
me alone.
Lissy as in Elizabeth.
Please. Come back! I need you.
Right. No more points of interest here. I guess the only thing is to go back to the house. Or we could go to the... no,
I was afraid you'd left me. Now listen to me.
Be reasonable.
No! Lissy? Where are you?
Gonna lead us to the gate by the mine, isn't she? Essentially.
Lissy.
Though it's more to the left-hand side. Is she going back up the hill?
Lissy, please listen to me. I didn't mean what I said.
Of course you meant it. Everything's always about Betty. Betty, Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious who matters more.
I thought she was dead.
I wish she was!
Don't.
You deserve to be alone.
We going to the mine anytime soon? We want to see the Viking treasure trove.
Please, talk to me.
What's there to talk about?
You can't keep running away from me.
Need you.
You think you own me? That you control me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day? That I'm your puppet, your little plaything?
Well, if you're in my head, then yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Fuck you, Edward Charles Harden! I never should have
Such
come here
language,
once.
young
Pointless
lady.
chase.
Now, be reasonable.
So we never went in the barn, did we?
Oh, no, no! What are you doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate us.
Now listen to me. Please, listen.
Don't.
Hear me out. Don't do this. You can't do this to me. I need you. I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't,
Fuck you.
Don't, please, don't, no, 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 no. What? No. Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please, be all right. Please don't.
You make me sick, Edward.
What the
Your
hell?
mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child.
This suddenly turned into
We
Doctor
are
Who.
all that you
Don't
have,
blink.
and we love you. We are here.
Don't break eye contact.
With
Don't
us.
break eye contact.
You are never alone. Do not forget.
No, Never. Never. I never forget. I am never alone.
Day 4? Or is it over? Huh? We've got to go to the dungeon. Not dungeon, the mine. Day 4. No, we haven't got a voice in our head anymore. Well, it may just stay in our head and we don't visualize it. No,
Wake up,
Alice.
Edward.
No, we've just got an angry angel. Right there.
Stop hiding.
Lissy?
Without us, you are nothing. You cannot hide from us.
Where's Lissy?
Alice is not here.
Bring her back.
Would you like to
Please.
leave a message?
I need her.
Alice does not love Elizabeth like you do.
She loves me.
Not like I do, Edward.
I'm so tired. Please.
What do you want?
I think of you so often. You have no idea.
You just want me to forgive you so that we can keep looking for your precious, perfect Betty.
She needs us.
She never needed you, Teddy Bear. And she certainly doesn't need us.
I can't find her on my own.
Well, it's just too bad, my darling Edward. Because we're done playing second fiddle to little sis.
Wait, don't go. I'm talking to you, Lissy. Oh.
Well, I guess brooch would be next. Because we're not going to find the entire coat, are we? There's somebody out there.
Please. Lissy? Listen. You can't keep vanishing on me.
Try me.
Why are you so angry?
You do not know anger, Edward.
Did you ever meet my father?
Alice does not want to speak with
Well, the head does move. Follow
What
us.
about you? Are you
Guys,
going to-
follow me.
you. God helps those who help themselves.
I don't need God's help.
Okay,
I
that's
need
a
Lissy.
small detail I like.
Did you ever?
What? Of course,
Right. Come on, when do we get to the... The heavens are opening. Are we going to go in the barn? Oh, it wants us to go back in. It turned us around purposely. Okay.
Alice. Hear me out. Don't go. I depend on you both.
You can never depend on other people, Edward.
I'm not sure you count as other people.
Everyone leaves, one way or another.
I could.
You don't.
It's just something about it looks like Blake,
challenge?
doesn't it?
Stop playing games.
Are you ordering me, Teddy Bear?
I'm asking you.
Didn't your father always tell you to stand up for yourself? To be a real man and not a sissy? Maybe that's why he put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Kaboom!
All right. So
so
the mother
disappointed about
died
his
in the
only
pond.
son
The
who turned into-
father topped himself with a gun.
Monster.
Takes one to know one. Old fruit.
Right. Now do we get to leave? Or are we meant to go upstairs? Exit. We're leaving. Nope, it's going to send us back inside. We're not meant to leave yet. No. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Fine, we're going upstairs. What do you reckon? The kids'
Gave you
room?
This jacket. Betty. You were here.
Kids' room? Fine, if you're going to be like that. Listen to me.
Lissy, I'm tired of chasing you. Alice, be reasonable. I'm trying to talk to you. Lissy, look. Her jacket. I'm sure it wasn't here yesterday, which
Jesus
means
Christ,
Betty was
Teddy.
here. Perhaps when we were out yesterday.
Betty,
She must have...
Betty.
You love Betty more than you love us. But don't you see? What has Betty done that we haven't? What can she do that we cannot?
If we hear one more voice, then we're
We've
full-blown
always been
schizophrenic
there
then.
for you. Why do you keep looking for
Jesus
her?
Christos. Yeah.
You're not.
So?
What? You decide what is real. We are real to you.
We'll never be the same.
I don't trust anything I see or hear. Are we putting the coat on the
She does not
mannequin?
want you.
Who are you talking
Why
about?
do you think Betty left? She was sick and tired of us. She wanted to escape.
Like mother.
Drowning herself because she couldn't stand being around us.
Like father.
Bang! Right in the coconut.
Stop.
You drive them all away, Edward. All into death.
We're the
Yes.
curse.
We're always here for
I
you.
beg you.
You are never alone.
Stop!
Join us.
Leave me alone, both of you!
You want to be alone?
You really want to be alone?
Fine. You're alone.
Good.
Lissy.
Angel statues have freak you out since Doctor Who. Yeah. Right. Let's put the thing... Was that ever glowing before? There we go. Are we going to start talking to the mannequin then now? Like I said, it definitely looks like she's got a... That's not a flower, that's a pin, that's a brooch or something. So we're going to have to go find that. Come on, let's go to the mine. Oh, it's very dark. Okay. Was that the entirety of day 4? It might have been. I've got an achievement. I'm not alone. Yep, apparently so. Just having a conversation with the voices inside my head took an entire day.
Betty?
Whoa, Blackberry. Bam, bam. Whoa. Come on, get up. Well, it's not got up and start walking around the building.
Are you upstairs? Betty, I'm coming.
Okay, upstairs in that room. The locked room. Like I said, we were going to find something in the locked room. Kick it down!
Betty? Betty! Are you in there? Open the door! I'm coming in! Stand away from the door!
Ow, my shoulder! Use your foot!
Betty? No! No, 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 no! Oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was you, Betty. But who?
I mean, they've been in the he's been in the house for 5 days now. Surely he would have smelt a bad smell coming from this room. There's a corpse in here.
It's from Johann, addressed to his wife. Did you notice the handwriting, Betty? He was clearly distraught. Knock, ere knock. Enough is enough. After decades of strife, I pray that God will... Tilly, forgive me. I am tired of secrets. For 20 years I've kept my silence about our discovery, but my silence has only led to misfortune, and my cowardice has only led to death. I will make Frederick pay for what he has done to us, for what they have done to our Ruth. When it is over, I will let the ocean take me to you and Ruth. May God forgive me. Anna was already dead when he wrote this. He had no one else to confess to. What now, Betty? Johann went to confront his brother, probably at Frederick's farm. And then?
Walked into the ocean.
You said this was a gift from another unlucky suitor. It was precious to you. You wouldn't have left it here unless... A signpost. A breadcrumb.
Crow didn't take out her eyes. Not a horror game confirmed. True.
You followed Johann to Frederick Fretland's farm, and then to the mine. You wouldn't let this go, Betty. You'd follow your story to the end. All the way to the end.
Like I said.
So where is Frederick's farm?
There's going to be something in the bar. The fact that we can walk right up to that. Okay. We're hopping the fence. Oh, so it's gone all eerie and misty now. Prepare for some form of jump scare at some point. It's just got an extremely eerie feel, yeah. Like I said, we're hopping the fence. Follow the crow.
What led you to this place? All these fragments. You'd piece them together into a story, wouldn't you, Betty?
So wasn't
So, what do we know?
Oh wait, it went that way. Let's go with Johann.
And Frederick are partners, and on good terms. Something happens in the mine. Disagreements lead to a falling out. And at the end of it all, 20 years later, Johann walks this path to confront Frederick. Was this your doing, Johann?
But the entire house down.
Farm to the ground?
Certainly looks
Where
that
were
way.
you, Betty? Did you witness their fall?
Just so happen to know the combination.
What do you reckon, Betty?
So we still need to... Okay, so there's going to be something else. I think dotted around here. Can't get in this building? Nope. Another barn we can't get in. Oh, hello. Somebody's death. Bound to be. Is this Simon? Yeah, it's going to be his son's date of birth.
Simon's grave. Born
5/12.
December 5th, 1909. Died September 17th, 1923. The safe. Frederick would choose numbers that meant something to him. Why bury Simon here and not at the cemetery? His wife's grave is also here.
Interactive psychological
Perhaps
novel.
Frederick
Yep.
wanted nothing to do with the church or with their god.
Aged 14.
I could really use your imagination, Betty.
So
Figure this out in no time.
Ruth was, what, 8 years old? Did they imply? It's certainly like less than 10. Simon's birthday.
Let's try Simon's birthday. Another Viking artifact, Betty. Most likely from the same treasure Ruth found.
A map of the mine.
Postmarked in Boston. That's a curious coincidence. Dear Frederick, I hope this letter... It's in English, Betty. Hope this letter finds you and the boy in good health. We're concerned about you both. No word from you for almost 2 years now. All of us still heartbroken about Margaret's passing. We know things have been difficult.
Brothers found the
for you,
treasure, yeah.
Simon.
What's in the ledger?
Mr. Fretland, we expect you to take care of this problem. If the discovery is made public, the authorities will intervene and the mine will be shut down. Should this happen, we will consider it a breach of our contract, and we will withdraw our investment. You and your brother will be responsible for all debts and losses. Johann must be convinced to wall up the chamber. We have already dealt with the worker who made the discovery.
Dealt with the worker?
The Fretland Mining Company. I wonder what this unlocks.
The gates to the mine? Oh, so there's still a dot here.
You went to the mine. I hope our guardian angel watched over you.
That way? Follow the path.
All right, Betty. So what happens next in your story?
Unearthed cause of this avalanche of misfortune. What triggered such bitter disagreement between the brothers? Is
Johann
discovery.
and Frederick discover something in the mine. A cave or chamber of archaeological value. They argue about what to do. If the discovery is made public, it's the end of their enterprise. Johann is convinced or paid to walk away. Their secret stays hidden. Then, a few months later,
Anything over this way?
the accident. 3 men die. The
Conveniently.
investors pull out. The mine shuts down. Frederick's up to his neck in debt.
Oh, that's the back of the house still. Right. I was just wondering what the dot was. It was still the safe. Nope, we can't take any notes.
So,
Feud
20
curse.
years, the Fretland feud tears the village apart, setting neighbor against neighbor. And then, Ruth stumbles across the secret in the mine. After all this time, the truth may finally come to light, but she dies. And the day after, Simon is murdered. It's a catalyst. Old grievances resurface. No matter who you stand with, you're a traitor. Things escalate. More people die. From disease, despair, suicides, murder.
There's been a murder. I mean, if everyone dies, is everybody a suspect or is nobody a suspect?
Because of what they found there. And what they covered up.
If everyone dies, is it victimless crime?
There was no one to stop it, Betty.
Well, there's plenty of victims. It's just no
Alone.
perpetrators left to prosecute.
That's the real curse of Grovik. Isolation.
Oh, we're following the crow still.
This place is cursed. Ridiculous.
Oh, we've got the matching
Ruth was
piece.
here the day she fell. Something spooked her, and then she ran all the way to the cliff where...
Once you're seen in Assassin's Creed Unity,
what
guy
happened,
shouts
Betty?
murder, gets killed
you
by an
witness?
assassin. And Lee says, next time kill him before they scream. Right.
Hello? Betty, are you in there?
Right.
Please answer me.
Oh, conveniently. I forgot we'd picked up the lighter. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Okay.
Oh, Betty.
The crow is
This
leading...
is-
I told you!
Mother's brooch. You always wore this.
Rockfall incoming,
You
yeah.
wouldn't take it off unless... You left it here for a reason.
We're never going to fit through that gap.
Why not seeing?
No torch conveniently located in the entrance, no. Ah! Told you. Well, there had to be something. Oh, here we go. You said... We shouldn't have hit that piece of lumber, should we? Run! Personally, I would have run deeper into the mine, just to see what there was there.
Edward!
Betty? Elizabeth? Is that you?
Edward? Where are you?
I'm on my way, Betty. Wait for me.
Come on, climb.
Stay where you are. I'm coming.
Where the hell have you been for these past 5 days?
Edward! Where are you?
I'm on my way.
I guess we're following the train tracks.
I'm here, Betty. It's Edward. It's me.
Edward, please! Hurry!
I'm coming, Betty.
Jump!
Edward!
I'm almost there.
Guess for on!
I can hear you. Hold on. I'm almost there.
Looks like it's back at the farmhouse, actually.
Just stay put.
How the hell could we hear her all the way from there? I find it very hard to believe.
Stay put, Betty. I'm coming for you.
Over the cliff he goes.
You're here.
Is that you?
You're inside the house.
I told you we're going to have a conversation with the mannequin.
Elizabeth, there you are. Finally.
He's fully
You have
lost
no
it.
idea how long I've been looking for you. You had me so worried. I Look. Your brooch. Mother's brooch. You must have lost it at the mine.
The fact that the mirror's going to show up again. Are we going full psycho on this? Mother? That feels like a cheap cop-out.
She's been dead for 30 years, Edward. Elizabeth was never here. But we didn't come for her. We came for Johann, and Anna, and Frederick, and Simon, and Ruth. We're here to tell their stories.
No. Elizabeth. She's here.
You know Betty died when she was a baby. She drowned in the pond. And you found her. You were just 11. You carried her to your mother. And your mother...
She hated you for that.
She could never forgive you for bringing her baby to her. And you could never forgive yourself for what she did after. You always forget this. Because you don't want to be alone. So you bring Betty back. Again and again. To New York. To Boston. To the house. But always just out of reach. Never quite there. The scent of her. The echo of her. But never really her. All it does is make you lonelier. But the thing is, Edward, you're never alone.
You have us.
And you'll always have us. Betty's... She was never there for you. She couldn't be. You can't lose us. We're a part of you.
Forever. And ever.
Unless the doctor prescribes some really good drugs.
You need to let Betty
And then I can make the voices go away.
There's not room for all of us in there.
I couldn't save you, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry. It is as painful to wake from a vision as it is to be born anew.
And that it? No kind of postscript? There's a day 6, okay. We're still in the house with the dead body upstairs. Nobody cares about the corpse in the bedroom upstairs, clearly stinking out the house. So, though I suppose if there's like lots of pickled herring in the cupboards or anything, we wouldn't be able to smell it. Are we going to look any different? Are we going to be dressed up as Betty? No. Are we leaving?
Alice?
I'm outside.
As far as we can tell, dude didn't have a shower in a week either. Nope.
Come outside.
Had your noodle juice yet?
I might be weaned off this stuff.
Boo. Don't lose your taste for tea, old fruit. It keeps you human. We have unfinished business.
We do?
The final piece of the puzzle.
Ruth.
Come on. Let's go back to where it started. We have an appointment with a ghost.
What, where she died? Oh no. Well, that's going to be taken out of my hands as well.
Such an amazing view, isn't it? And the air. Ugh.
And then our imaginary friend pushes us off the cliff.
To Grovik. Well.
Let's do... What if he thinks the answer is simple and logical?
Letter to Frederick.
The one you found in his safe. From Boston.
I may have overheard a conversation somewhere. Paid it no attention, but the name stuck. And Betty... And I spun a story around it that put us on this path.
Do you really believe that? I mean, how often are you around people?
To find my sister.
But Betty's not. She was never here. It doesn't make sense.
Some places have gravity.
What are you saying?
Yeah, the kid that went off the cliff found that out.
Across the Atlantic Ocean?
Grovik. No, I'm not saying that. That's irrational.
But you believe it, don't you? That we were summoned to tell their story.
I'm a man of science. I don't know what to believe.
And yet, here we are. All three of us.
Is this what you wanted to show me?
I wanted to be close to her. Do you believe in ghosts, Edward?
You know I don't.
Well, you've been chasing one for years.
That's
I'm
different.
talking to voices in my head as well.
Us.
You're not ghosts. You're alive.
Fair enough. So what really happened to Ruth?
I believe it was an accident.
How? What happened?
Your guess is as good as mine.
All right, she ran from the mine and came here. And then... Was she afraid? What made her run?
Something spooked her.
And she panicked. So she
It was that damn crow, wasn't it?
Why not home? She couldn't go home. Or she didn't want to. She felt safe here. This was her happy place. And then... If only Ruth had wings, like an angel, she could have flown straight to heaven. I hope she's at peace. And with God. Do you think that's where everyone's gone?
God. He has no faith in the afterlife. He saw it in his mother's dead eyes. He saw the gunshot wound in his father's head. He knew even then that heaven was a lie. Edward believes there's only darkness after death, but strange as it seems, Alice has her own beliefs, and it feels almost cruel to deny her those.
Heaven. They're dead. I don't know what that means. Maybe there is more. I can't stop you from hoping. We'll never know what happened to everyone in Grovik.
We tried our best. We'll remember them. All of them. Maybe that will give them some peace in the afterlife. Could this be your book, Edward? The one you've been wanting to write? A story about people who are isolated, left behind by the world. You can give them all a proper ending, with no annoying loose threads. Edward, is that...
A boat? But how?
Who cares? Let's catch it before it sets out on another adventure.
I don't understand how this can be.
Draugen got tired of sailing around in it and brought it back to us.
It must have been the wind.
Whatever helps you sleep.
Well, imagine having the brain power to create and maintain and visualize a second personality as real as yours.
I
Yep.
need my suitcase.
So get a wiggle on, old boy. I'm going to say my goodbyes to all the things. I don't think we'll be back. Meet you at the house.
My goodness.
What's the dot for? Is this for when we leave?
Righty-ho.
We're going to push off
No
from
rush.
this.
We have all day.
Okay. Well, I presume I got all the pictures. We sketched all the pictures. Let's have a look at the journal. You think there wasn't any others? Betty! 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 I think we covered everything, didn't we? This is our final chance if we wanted to, you know, completionist it and find the last places to sit on a wall and sketch. I think that was everything. I'm still fairly sure there's got to be something in the barn. Come on. Pry the door open. We can get in there. One last peek. Can we see anything? Nope. Was it? Did we? We didn't really look in this direction, did we? No hopping the fence? Nope. I guess not. Okay. Fine, we'll get our suitcase. Like I said. I guess it was... We left it in here.
Come on, Teddy. Pack your things. I'll meet you by the boat.
Do you never sit still?
Don't be a wet blanket. Let's
Well, he's
make
not
this
real.
Get out of here.
Not at all creepy. Don't worry, it's a downhill journey this time. It won't be as tiring. Do we say goodbye to the corpse? We've got to. Thank you for being such a pleasant host. You let us have the run of the house. Oh no, we're not allowed. Is there anything in... There was nothing in this room, was there? I mean, that door was available to us. Ruth's store is available to us. I mean, is there anything for us, like a final farewell interaction? No. I guess we're getting the boat and leaving, and that's 7:30, so... A little later than usual, but we managed to make it through. Can't run either. Got my finger on the shift button. We're not powering through. Oh, and... Ellipsis. Time to push off.
Come on, let's go. Row, Teddy, row.
Then the Hellmouth opens up and swallows the entire island.
It's a fjord, Lissy, and it's almost winter.
There'll be snow when we get back to Hanover.
The house will be warm.
Are we going to be all right, Edward?
I think so.
Just as soon as I get back on my medication. Now, in 1923, what would have been the prescription? Probably something fairly barbaric. Or on the opium. It would have been something opium-based, wouldn't it? Just mellow him out. I don't think it would have been lithium or something like that. Wow, that's bleak, Fluffy. But as I said, I knew it was only going to be a couple hours long. So, what did we... 2.5? We started about 5, didn't we? We ran where we could. So, Jane Perry as Betty and the Entity. And I'm definitely going to IMDb whoever Sky Bennett is, because like I said, the voice sounds familiar. But there we have it. Nice little story. Obviously, it's a one-shot. There's no replayability to it. Maybe if there was like a director's commentary version, you could play through it and director saying why they chose this, all that kind of thing. But quite an emotional game, chasing a ghost that doesn't exist, sort of. I've got one thing to tell these people: buy stock and sell it in September 1929. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's us done for the day. We'll let the credits roll. It's only fair. But tomorrow, back to Deponia. Trying to figure out where we go next. How we've got to, what were we doing? We're having to get a number off, like, our best friend so we could go see the mayor or something, wasn't it? So we've got to do that. And then in the second half, my current plan is we maybe play Journey. As in, yes, that one. The PS3 game, which came out last week on PC. One I've wanted to play for a while. So that's the current possibility. If anything else unusual comes into the inbox, I mean... to the center of the earth? Not quite. Journey across the desert, I saw bits and pieces of it. I never actually played it at all. Because like I said, never had PS3. I think I saw somebody play, sat next to them, watch them play like half an hour or so. I know, again, that's another relatively short game. Is it like maybe 3 hours in itself? Does it feature The Rock? You've just been playing it. It's quite cool. There we go. Were you interacting with strangers? Because I know there's a pseudo co-op element, isn't there? You have like random people show up, but because there's no communication, all you can do is like just you can't there's not even emotes or anything like that, is there? There's just like you can like give a sense of intentions, and then you're just skipping across the desert. But yeah, that's potentially the second half tomorrow. Like I said, unless I find anything else dropped in my inbox, we will be taking a look at that. Just puzzles and strange omnipresent being. And that's a creepy ass pin. I mean, if you go on holiday, you do have to have a souvenir of some sort, so clearly that's his souvenir. Edward and Alice will return? So was this set up as like a chapter 1 of a story? Intriguing. I don't know where it could go. The further adventures of me and my imaginary friend? I don't know. Return to the title screen. Yeah. Can I move this window around, please? Please. Please. Let me grab the window. Well, okay, nobody say too much in chat because it's the game window's covering half chat box. So you gonna let me move this thing around yet? There you go. Right, I can move it out of the way. But yeah, we'll throw a mark in there.